everyone, welcome back to Royalty Soaps. My name is Katie Carson. I am the Duchess of Suds at this channel, and today we are going to be making a natural soap. Now, lots of different people define natural differently, but the way I define it is no artificial ingredients like micas or fragrances. So everything in today's soap you can find or extract from something in nature. It has kaolin clay, has rose clay, it has essential oils in it, nothing artificial. This essential oil blend is my favorite that I've done thus far. It's so gentle and calming, and yet it's still really pretty. It's a pretty essential oil blend, which I find is a little hard to come by. Most of the time to me, essential oils always smell like super clean or like very rustic. So like a pine, cedar wood type thing, or kind of soapy or citrusy. So like lemons and grapefruit and stuff. But this is like almost perfumey. It's really nice. So without further ado, let's make some rose clay and pink sea salt soap. Today is going to be one of the more simpler soaps that I have lined up for this month's collection, but sometimes I think the greatest beauty is in the simplicity itself. And I truly believe that. I know we do lots of really fancy soaps over here at Royalty Soaps. Lots of colors, lots of cool designs, but sometimes you just gotta take it back to the pure and simple. I'm gonna give this a quick mix with my stick blender. This is our lye water solution into our oils. I'm just gonna take my whisk here, make sure there's no oil sitting on top. I really don't wanna use the stick blender that much because I want the batter to stay really runny, and it is quite runny right now, still at very thin trace, just past emulsion. Now I'm gonna split off my batter into 2 equal portions, and this whole soap is going to be colored with natural botanicals. So no micas, no ultramarines, no oxides. We're just gonna be using clays and a little bit of titanium dioxide. The clays I have picked out are rose clay and kaolin clay. So I really love rose clay because of the pinky hue, and also just because it has a very silky finish to it, as does kaolin clay. I actually used to make masks for myself with kaolin clay whenever my acne was really bad because it was really helpful. Yes, I am now scraping out my big container. Make sure all that soapy goodness is in. Here are my 2 mixes. This one has the kaolin clay with the titanium dioxide. This one has the rose clay, and I mix them both with very hot water. So tip to the newbies, it's a lot easier to mix your clays with really hot water than it is to mix them with oil. I'm just gonna add that right in. Scrape out my little corn cups. By the way, these corn cups can actually be washed out and used again. They're really hardy little things. Here goes the kaolin. And I'm gonna start by whisking in the clays because clays have a tendency to make your soap a little bit thicker, and even with me whisking, I can already feel the soap coming to a medium trace. Here's the pink. Oh, it's so pretty. Woo-hoo-hoo. And honestly, you can do lots of different shades of pink with rose clay. You can do kind of a bricky pink, which is what I have here, or you could add just a teeny tiny bit and it could be a very pale pink. It's just whatever your own personal preference is. And now it's time for the essential oil blend. This is probably what I would call the most gorgeous essential blend I've used thus far, probably because it has ylang-ylang in it. It smells so delicate, but it also has a little bit of rosemary and lavender 4042. It's just really nice. Lovely. Now I'm gonna stick blend in the essential oils and mix in the clay really well. I have just a teeny tiny bit here on top of the essential oil left over, so I'm just gonna whisk that in, and then we're gonna blend these 2 together in our large container. So I'm gonna start with the pink soap. I'm gonna pour about this much. I'll probably do 3 or 4 passes into the bucket. It's just the right amount of thickness. That's what I was waiting to see if it would do, if it would displace it or if it would just overwhelm it. And it is definitely moving it out of the way, so it's not gonna be too swirly. Now, the pink container, I'm actually going to scrape out because I want most of the pink on the inside of the soap. And then the white container, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna spatula that onto the top, and then I'm gonna texture it before I put put my botanicals and salts on. Now that I have everything in my large bucket, we're going to wait a second and then pour it into our large slab mold after this potential quick commercial break. Now I waited a second for this to set up because I have already swirled the soap quite a lot in the pot, and I really don't want it to over swirl when I'm pouring here. So I got it kind of chunky, and I want to be able to texture the top. Now I'm just gonna let it come out in the corner, come in this corner, a little in this corner, a little in this corner. Gonna go ahead and scrape out my big container. All right, time to put the white on top, and I'm just gonna focus it on the areas that have the most pink. In other words, I'm not gonna put a whole bunch over here because that already looks pretty white. And I'll probably smooth it down with my spatula because once again, this is really just to get rid of some of that pink on top so our roses really stand out. And what the heck, we'll put some over here. Don't wanna leave anyone out. My soap, the inanimate object, and I'm like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. Okay, so now using my spatula, I'm just gonna smooth this out a little. Once again, we're gonna texture this top anyway, so it doesn't really have to be perfect. I just wanna, okay, now that I have given it a little bit of a texture and I've smoothed all that white out, we're gonna tap it down on the ground. Let's tap it. I don't know which thing's redder, the soap or my face. I need a tailor because I ripped my pants. I'm just kidding, I actually need a spoon. All right, let's give her a good texture on top. Might come in and swirl it up a little bit after I put all these big indentations on it. Looks like giant fish scales. I've never really mastered making this texturing on top. I'm not very good at it, admittedly so. Everybody I see on Instagram always has these like perfectly textured tops, and each one of their individual bars looks so good, and I'm over here just making crap up and not doing anything right. I think I might need to get a smaller spoon. I can't tell. Well, that looks pretty good to me, and my opinion's the only one that's valid. Now, for the fun part, we get to put all the botanicals on top. So we have some bath spa salts. These are from Wholesale Supplies Plus. They're my favorite salts to use on top. We have some large pink sea salt. These are really, really nice. I just thought the pink looked really good with like the whole color scheme and stuff. And then I have two types of roses because why not? We have red and we have pink. So I think this is going to be smashing on top. I'm going to do the flowers first because it's still a little sticky on top and I need to wait just a little while so that we don't get any salt melting. I'm really not a fan of that look. I'm just gonna come down each little soap here. I may need some more flowers. Excellent, excellent. I have yet to find a rose petal supplier that didn't give me mostly stems. I'm always picking them out because it grosses me out to have stems on top. Ew. Ew. Some are fine. I just don't want really huge pieces. Those are the ones that gross me out. This was the first design that I created for the Ardor collection. I felt like roses, the pink clay, the ylang ylang, it was all very French. It's all very old world, old style romantic. And so that's what kind of spurred on the idea for the rest of the soaps in this month's theme. And this is probably the one I'm most attached to. And I really love being able to use only essential oils. Now we're gonna put on the two salts, but let's put them on speedy style. I'm done. You guys, I am not gonna spritz it. I'm not gonna cover it. What you're seeing right here is how I'm going to leave it for 18 to 24 hours because once again, I do not want those salts melting. Then we'll come back and we'll split the slab into loaves and cut the loaves into bars. All of that and the question of the day after this quick commercial break. Y'all, I have all the natural apothecary soap vibes right now. I'm living for it. I want to do a whole month like this. Let's turn sister on her side here. Line her up. We're gonna lose a lot of salts, as is typical, but that's all right because plenty of them will stay on. And I am gonna go very slowly so as not to rip too many things off. Also, note the pink. It was a little bit of a different color whenever the soap was raw, but after going through saponification, it comes out looking nice and pretty and a lot less red. Gonna slide one out, two out, I guess. And this is what it looks like on the inside. Ooh. Also, it's really soft on my hands. Kaolin Clay tends to do that. It makes for a very soft, luxurious bar. And as you can see, plenty of botanicals stayed on top. I can't tell you how good this smells. If you like a light floral essential oil smell, this is definitely going to be the one for you. Ylang Ylang is used in a lot of perfumes, and it's a very, very versatile oil in my opinion. It just smells gentle and sweet and not too overwhelmingly floral, so it's not going to just like zing your nose off. Look how nice they look all stacked up. Aw, a natural Valentine's Day bar set. I shall cut another while we ask the question of the day. So, the question of the day is, do you prefer having organic, natural, skin-loving goodies inside your soap, or do you prefer having natural botanicals on top? Of course, this soap has both. But for all of you skin aficionados out there, I want to know what's more important to you. Do you crave coconut milk and Takuma butter and lavender hydrosols and all those sorts of things on the ingredient list? Or would you rather see lots of pretty rosebuds and sea salts and mica swirls on top? To vote on the question of the day, all you have to do is click the eye in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Do you love it? Oh, it just smells so good. This is one that I'm gonna have to steal for myself and use in my own bathroom. It's also really funny because you could probably see in some video that I made a couple of years ago, me being like, I don't like essential oils and I don't like the way they smell, which was true back then, but I don't know if it's because I've gotten older or there's been so many hormonal changes because I've had 2 kids, but as I've gotten older, I have really enjoyed the natural looking soaps and the natural smelling soaps. They just appeal to me. They're very calming, so this one was fun to make and you're definitely gonna see more like it in the future. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment down below if you would like to see tutorials for making natural, botanically colored soaps, because I'd love to do that for you guys. If you're interested, give other soap makers some helpful tips and tricks, so be sure to let me know. Be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that is making a pastry, any type of pastry you enjoy. I love all of them. Or perhaps starting some seedlings in your bathroom or in your greenhouse if you have one of those. It's now the time to start getting those ready. I think I'm gonna try to do a couple of different types of harvestable plants, so like maybe lettuce, maybe some tomatoes. I have a big backyard this year. I think I should do that with Lily, and I'll show you guys over on my personal Instagram if I do, which you should also follow if you care anything about me and Kenny and our mom and all that. And if you're just here for soap, that's awesome too. We have a Royalty Soaps Instagram for that. Either way, do something that makes you super happy, and I will see you guys next time. So until then, bye for now. Meow. Dessert soap. Dessert.